What's up guys, Austin here, and in this video we're going to go over how I made over $30,900 in a single day trading NASDAQ futures with automated trading algorithms. We're going to take a look at every single entry, every single exit. We'll rip it all apart through the Tradezella platform so you could see in depth, and then we'll even take a look at the broker side so you could see that these were live trades placed in a live account, and we'll even talk about how you can access these same trading algorithms yourself through the Algo exchange platform. So without further ado, let's jump right in. All right, guys, so here we are inside of the Tradezella platform. This is a independent third-party trading journal software that we're using to essentially pull the cumulative result of all these different executions from different trading algorithms. All of these are running in a separate brokerage account, so we just load up everything in here to take a look at it in a nice, clean place. So here we could see on the day, we did $30,957 in profit. We won all of our trades this particular day, which is great. And certainly not the case all the time, but this was an exceptionally good day. So let's go ahead and take a look at the executions here. We'll break down each trade. We'll look at the entries, we'll look at the exits, talk a little bit about the different strategies, and we'll start there. So as you can see here on the right, you can see this little column that says account name, and then we have Persing, Falcon V2, Falcon, Cairo, and Raptor. These are names of different trading algorithms available through the Algo exchange platform. So you can literally just go on Algo exchange, find which system that you like, and connect it to your US regulated brokerage account, and these trades will be placed automatically in that account. And that's exactly what happened here. So all these executions are hooked up to a live brokerage account of mine. There's various capital amounts in each of these systems. So for Persing, there's 50K, Falcon V2, there's 100K, Falcon, there's 150, Cairo, there's 100, and Raptor, there's 100. So different amounts of capital here, different levels of risk taken in each position, in each account. And as you can see, the asset is always going to pretty much be the NASDAQ futures for these systems. These are micro NASDAQs with the MNQ in front. ENQ is E-mini NQ futures. So that's the full size NQ contract. It's called ENQ through StoneX. So that's what I'm running the Falcon system on, is StoneX is the brokerage, and the other ones are utilizing Interactive Brokers as the brokerage. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first trade. We'll look at Persing first, and then we'll kind of work our way down from there. We click that, we can see the running P&L through the day. So we actually exited pretty much looks like at the highest P&L point of the day. So if we go ahead and take a look at the entries here, we can see that we got our first entry at 10:05, and then we actually added to our position at 10:25. So we traded 8 contracts total. We entered with 5 contracts here at 10:05, and then we added 3 more at 10:25. So this position resulted in a $1,979 gain. We traded 8 micro contracts, captured 124 points, and paid $14 in commissions for this particular trade. And let's go ahead and see where it got out of the position. So scaled in at 10:05, had our next entry at 10:25, and then carried it on to right here. So we got all out at 12:27. So right around 2 hours for this particular position. I would say it's about average for this trading system. If it doesn't hit its target, it will usually just exit at the end of the cash session at 4 p.m. Eastern, but it was able to hit its target at 12:27, and it was all out there for the day. So a very, very quick, nice and easy trade for Persing. Literally got in at 10:05, market agreed with the position pretty much immediately. We added to that position again, took looks like around an hour or so, or not even 20 minutes. This is a 1-minute chart, so around 20 minutes for the market to agree with the rest of the position, and then we covered out that trade right here, just under 21,300 for Persing. So very, very nice execution and a good trade for this particular system that day. So that's the first trade. Let's go ahead and take a look at this trade here. So this one, I believe, was from Falcon V2. If we go ahead and go back, we can get the name. Yep, this is a Falcon V2 trade. And here we could see pretty similar types of behavior. Entry time here was a bit earlier. So 9:57, we got in with 6 contracts here on Falcon V2. We added to our position again at 10 a.m., adding another 6. And then you can see we actually added quite a few times throughout the day. We traded a total of 30 contracts to the upside here with Falcon V2, and here is the running P&L chart. So let's go ahead and take a look at how this one executed, and you can see already it's very different than Persing. So we got in here just before 10 a.m., added to our position at 10:11, added to our position again at 10:56, added again here at 11:20, and then let's zoom out, and we ended up taking some profit here at 1:20 p.m. So we're in the position for a few hours, 3 to 4 hours here before we had our first exit, and we captured a total of 102 points on this trade. So a nice successful trade for the system. If we go ahead and look here, we can see we started trailing out of the position. Market started reversing a little bit, kind of just sitting up here consolidating, and then we ended up just getting completely out of the trade at 4 o'clock Eastern time as the market closed. So if I go ahead and actually change the time frame here, maybe to a 5-minute chart, you can probably see this a little bit clearer. Let's go ahead and find these executions. Yeah, here you could see going from the 1-minute chart, going from the 1-minute chart to the 5-minute chart definitely consolidates this up a bit. You could see scale in, scale in, scale in. So we had 5 entry points and 4 exits and realized a nice $6,116 P&L on the day. This is on around $100,000 of capital. So that's around a 6% gain for this particular trade on the total equity. So that's certainly a nice successful day for this trading system. And you can see once we had that rip up in the morning, we kind of just hung out up here. 21,300 was pretty much just the mark where the level where the market wanted to hang out for the session. And we ended up getting flat right around the close. So that is the Falcon V2 trade here. And I'd like to explain real quick kind of just the differences and the nuances between Falcon V2 and the original Falcon, because you're going to see a lot of similarities when I go ahead and look at this trade. It's pretty much going to match the executions from V2 when it comes to Falcon. The difference is obviously the symbol being traded. So one's trading the micros, the other is trading the E-mini contract. The micro has a $2 per point value. So if the NASDAQ goes up 1 point, that's a $2 move per contract. With the E-mini, it's going to be a $20 point value per point that the NASDAQ moves. So obviously the contract size is much larger, but also with the original version of Falcon, there is a short component, and with Falcon V2, it is a long only strategy. So each of these systems is going to be multi-model. There's going to be various components inside of this system that are going to be taking these trades, taking trades for multiple different reasons. And the main difference with Falcon from Falcon V2, aside from one of them trading the E-minis and the other trading the micros, is that the big Falcon system also has a short component to it that Falcon V2 does not. But in this case, for this day, all we took was long positions. We wanted the market to go up. So let's go ahead and take a look at the executions here for Big Falcon. So like I mentioned, very, very similar. I mean, these are identical. So we're pretty much going to be looking at the same thing here. Obviously, this number is going to be a little bit bigger. So we had a $10,945 trade here. We traded 5 contracts on the E-minis, which is equivalent to 50 micro contracts. So Falcon V2 traded 30 micros. This traded 5 E-minis. And you might be wondering, well, why are you trading both? What's the purpose of trading Falcon V2 and the main Falcon? And honestly, it's just for tracking purposes. I want to be able to actually trade the Falcon V2 system. It's something that's offered on the Algo exchange platform, and I want to be able to have live results for that system personally. But obviously, it would make much more sense just to consolidate all of that into Falcon if I was just going to be, an ordinary user of the system. But if we go ahead and take a look here, we can see we have our entry here, 9:55, next entry at 10, next entry here at 10:10. We enter again at 10:55, and once more at 11:20. Now we are in for 5 contracts. Let's go ahead and take a look at the exits here. So we have one exit here at 1:17, another exit here at 2:45, and then finally we get completely flat at the close of market right at 4 o'clock. So identical. I mean, we're looking at the exact same executions pretty much compared to Falcon V2. The main difference again is just going to be the asset that this is trading. And if we go ahead and look here, you can see it on a consolidated basis. So this is a 5-minute chart. We just kind of broke it down on the 1 minute. So obviously this is going to be a lot more closer together. You can see the max run up we had in this position was 14,000, but we ended up realizing a gain of 10,000, and we weren't chasing the P&L as it dropped. Everything is systematic. It's only going to be exiting the position if certain rules are met, not because an amount of P&L is going away. It's not watching its P&L trying to capture every single cent. It's going to execute its rules in an unbiased and automated fashion, which is the benefit that you have when you're utilizing automating trading systems compared to executing manually. There's no human emotions here. I'm not sitting in front of the screen clicking these buttons. I hook up the system to the account, and then it executes based on its proven track record and rule set. So we can see that here. And if we go ahead and take a look at the rest of the trade, so $10,945 from Falcon, $6,116 here, and $1,979 from Persing. So all in all, we're looking at around $19,000 of P&L so far. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other $11,000 to $12,000 that we have left on the table here. So next, this is a different strategy. This is Cairo. We could see very, very similar traits here. Now, these strategies are not the same strategy. I know you might be seeing similar behavior here. We're scaling in to the market, and you can see there's actually significantly more executions on this particular system than Falcon had. This one actually continuously added to its position throughout the day, and we could take a look at that. So let me drop this down to a 2-minute chart just to kind of consolidate this a little bit here. Find our executions. There we are. So you could see we basically scaled in a bunch of times and then got all out pretty much almost at the high of day. Zoom in a bit more. We can go ahead and break that down. You might be wondering, well, why are you entering so many times? So why not just get all in at once and take it from there? Well, that's a great question. And the reason is because all these strategies are different, right? So all these strategies are going to do things for different reasons. But the main reason that this particular strategy trades this way is because it's going to take a very small initial position. Its initial risk is going to be very little. So if it's wrong, it's going to be wrong very, very small. And if it's right, it's going to continuously add to its position as the market says, hey, you have the right idea. You want the market to go up, the market's going up, and then obviously there's going to be other rules at play there that confirm the entry points. But essentially the thesis is, if I'm right, I'll add to my position. If I'm wrong and the market's telling me I'm wrong, I have no problem being wrong small and being right big when the time comes. So we can see here we had our initial position with 3 micro contracts. We traded a total of 32 contracts for this particular entry. We captured around 85 points on the position, and let's go ahead and look at each execution. So at 9:55, we had our first entry of 3 micro contracts. We had another entry of 3 micro contracts at 10:15, another entry of 5 contracts at 10:42. We entered again here with 3 more contracts at 10:55, 3 more contracts at 11, 3 more contracts at 11:20, 3 more contracts at 11:35, 3 more contracts at 11:40, 3 more contracts at 12:15, 3 more contracts at 12:30, and then we sold the entire position at 1:20 and realized a $5,401 profit. Now you might be wondering, well, what happens if the market just reverses as you add in all of these positions? Well, then your risk is magnified. And that's what you might think. But that coolest thing about all of these trading systems is they have built-in risk management rules that are going to recalculate its risk as it's taking on more exposure or taking on a larger position size. So the whole idea of why it even does this is to minimize its risk if the market doesn't agree with the thesis. And obviously, as we are agreeing with the thesis, then we should be taking less risk as the market moves up, even though we're adding to the position. And this system is doing all of that automatically. I'm not going to get into the exact why of how this strategy ticks and exactly what the specific rules are, because obviously that's the secret sauce behind the system. But as we're adding to this position, we're not essentially taking on that much more risk overall. So that's a really critical point and a huge benefit to this particular system. So nice 5,401 P&L from this position here. This is on a $100,000 account, so around a 5.4% gain on the day from the Cairo system here. And last but not least, we have this execution here. This is from Raptor. So here you can see again, we're scaling in. Have you noticed that's kind of a theme here with all of these different systems? It's not taking its entry all in one spot. It's breaking it down and entering based on multiple confirmations from the market with various different subsystems inside of the strategy. So we had our initial entry here at 9:41 with 6 micro contracts. We had another entry here with another 6 at 9:42. So we were in for 12. And then we got in again here with another 6 at 9:55. So we are in for 18 total. And we could see that was the total quantity traded for this particular position. And we captured 181 points. So if we're looking at the overall points captured, Raptor actually did the best on this particular trading day. And let's go ahead and see where the exit was. So let me just drop this down to a 2-minute chart and we can take a look at where we got all out. So it looks like we got all out of this trade at the end of the session. So we're getting later in the day here, but we got in essentially within the first 30 minutes of the market opening, and then we closed the position right at the end of day. So a nice $6,514 gain for the Raptor system here. This is on a $100,000 account as well. So a nice 6.5% gain for this particular system on the day. So that's pretty much it for all these executions. Go ahead and add all this stuff up, and that gives us $30,957 after commissions. Let's go ahead and flip to the broker side so you guys can see what it looks like over there and just confirm that all of this happened on live accounts. All right, guys, so here we are on the Interactive Brokers website. We're going to go ahead and generate the summary. We're going to pull up the realized P&L from this trading day. Here you can see we're pulling from 4 accounts because we run a sub account for each individual algorithm. So this way that the positions don't interfere with each other. Let's go ahead and run the report. So we're going to hit view here. Here you can see the date was May 13th, 2025, and we're going to hit view. It's generating the report, and here we are. So here you can see Interactive Brokers, Greenwich, Connecticut, US-based, US regulated broker, realized summary for May 13th, 2025. And if we go ahead and zoom in, here we have it. Realized P&L, $20,012.11. We utilized $389,371 across these 4 accounts to realize this gain. Now, we did not risk that at all, right? So the risk was only a couple $1,000, but that was the total account value, the cumulative account value of each individual account. As mentioned, each trading system is working with a different amount of capital, but because we're pulling for 4 accounts, that is what we're going to be looking at here. We go ahead and zoom out a little bit, and if I could scroll over here, I just don't want to get kicked out of the page. Here we can see the symbol, trading MNQs, and there you can see all the different executions here. So lots of different trades, and here is the realized gain after commissions and fees, $20,012. So the rest of the P&L is generated in a live account on StoneX. So let's go ahead and look at the StoneX account and look at the rest of the P&L. Alrighty, so here we are. So here you can see we were long 5 contracts on the E-mini NASDAQ. We got long here at 21,179. We covered the position at 21,289. And here you could see the gain of $10,945, $24.50 of commission. So take the $10,945, add it up to the $20,012, and that gives us our net P&L of $30,957.11 after commissions. And that is it, guys. These are the trades from the trading systems. You guys saw each one individually through Tradezella. We went ahead and looked at the brokerage accounts to prove that this is the real deal on live accounts from US regulated brokerages like StoneX and Interactive Brokers. And that's pretty much it for this. And that pretty much wraps it up for this trade recap, guys. So I hope this was insightful. The Algo Exchange platform is a great way to get access to legitimate automated trading algorithms that hook up to your own US regulated brokerage account. So if you'd like more info on that or like to talk to a member of the team, go in the description, tap the link in there, book a call, and one of our team members will give you the rundown of how it all works. But until then, guys, I will see you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Take care.